All right, guys, thanks for joining us on our second YouTube video.
Yeah, thanks for coming. And
What the outline for today is going to be what my company does, Fort Sask Reno. I'm Tom, I'm the Director of Operations, and this is my partner and owner-operator, Jim Bullion. Jim, could you start us off with a quote?
sure, big business starts small. Richard Branson, so he definitely, this guy knows about big businesses and an inspiration to many business people.
Yeah, that's just how we started. Let me start you off with a statistic here. A recent report from Build Force Canada estimated the construction industry could be short as many as 29,000 workers by 2027.
Yeah, that's quite the stat, hey? 29,000 workers short. So we definitely see that in our business. It's hard to find good people, and I think it's a problem that's going to continue to evolve, and I'm not sure what can solve it. We've got our good workers though for now.
Yeah, that's the truth. There's not as many people want to work with their hands anymore.
No, for sure. Yeah, so I'd like to tell you about how we started out as Fort Sask Reno, or we evolved into Fort Sask Reno. So in 2007, I started the company, and it was a sole enterprise for the first, quite a few years, decade plus. Yeah. It was sole proprietorship, and we called ourselves Beaulieu Enterprises, our last name. And I think it's just an ego thing. Who doesn't want their name on a company? But when we incorporated, 2017, we changed the name to Fort Sask Reno. And the reason being is that we wanted something that's easily identifiable as being the local people. Through the first few years, that's a common story we'd hear. Oh, we hired you because you're local. We hired you because you're local.
Yep.
And also no one can spell Beaulieu or pronounce it. So Beaulieu had to go.
Yep.
And so we incorporated July 1st, 2017, which is Canada's 150th birthday. I planned that. Thought it was kind of a cool little deal. So 2017, we've been incorporated as Fort Sask Reno Inc. And yeah, that's a little bit about the background of the business.
So you guys rebranded to Fort Sask Reno. What does that company do, Fort Sask Reno?
Fort Sask Reno, well, we started out just doing exteriors. It was new construction exteriors for the first, I think it was 5 houses actually. It was new construction only. And so I was doing siding, soffit, fascia, and eaves trough, vinyl siding to start with. And then I got into some renovation. I hired on with a renovation contractor. Yep. For the rest of that first year, where I learned how to do the siding on renovations. So that entailed it's a little bit different than the new construction stuff. I learned how to do the exterior insulation and those kind of things. So that was the company for the first couple of years, mostly doing just exteriors and residential renovations. I stayed with that first company, subbing off the first outfit for 1 year. So I really had the business down pat and how to do the renovations on those exteriors. At that point, I struck out on my own after about a year doing that, and as Beaulieu Enterprises at that point, and pretty well just stuck with just that for the first couple of years. Eventually I got a brake. I think that was my first big purchase. A brake, for those that don't know it, it's a large piece of equipment that you use for bending aluminum, colored aluminum, and with that aluminum, what you're doing, one of the main purposes of a brake is for capping windows. You get an old window frame and it's all gnarly, but the window itself is good, or they're not ready to quite upgrade all their windows. You can cap the frame and make it look like new. So that was one of my first big purchases. Did that, and then a few years later, I always wanted to add services to the business and keep it growing. And so some years later, we ended up getting into some eaves trough. Bought an eaves trough machine. It was quite the purchase. Bought another trailer for the used trough machine.
Yeah,
And
that was a big investment.
yeah, for sure. And it was scary, a little bit scary at first. I didn't know much about used trough. I used the machine a couple times. My old boss showed me how to do it, but just threw caution to the wind and bought the machine and got into it.
Awesome.
Yeah, so at that point, we did mainly that, just exteriors until, how many years ago you think it's around?
We've been doing interiors for at least 6 years.
6+, eh? Let's
Yeah.
see, I think it was maybe around 20, maybe more. I think 2015 we first started doing bathrooms.
Yeah.
We were doing an exterior in Fort Saskatchewan, and I think that that customer had a previous contractor that was supposed to do a bathroom for her, and then he jammed out. So she said, "You guys are good. I know you guys could do my bathroom." And we had some skilled workers that had previous experience in that. So that was our first bathroom. We ended up doing 3 bathrooms for that lady,
Yeah.
and that really kicked it off from that point. So bathrooms, and eventually we just continued to add the services. Where now we're doing all manner of residential renovations, whether it's bathrooms, kitchens, basements. We still do exteriors, windows, doors, roofing, all that good stuff. Yeah, so that's where we're at the moment.
So with all those different services, how many different team members do you have?
Yeah, currently there's 11 staff directly for Fort Sask Reno. And of course we do use some local subcontractors, fully vetted people. We won't take just anybody.
No.
We have standards to meet, and we got to maintain our high standards. So that's the team for the time being.
Yeah, we've grown a lot since the roots of sole proprietorship.
Yeah, we really have taken off, and even in the last few years, it's really taken off. So we continue to grow and succeed.
So where does your company, Fort Sask Reno, mainly operate?
Mainly we like to keep it local. We like to be the Fort Sask people. We will travel some. In general, we'll do about a half-hour radius. After that, we got to start paying travel time, and all our guys that work for us are living in Fort Saskatchewan, so we love working in Fort Saskatchewan, and so do our guys. So we try to focus on that, but we'll go out of town. We've worked in Red Deer, we've worked in Pinoka, and
Yeah.
of course we do all the little towns around. Where no one from Edmonton wants to go to Bruderheim or Lamont, those things, but
Yeah, those smaller communities can be hard for the homeowners to find qualified contractors willing to go that far out to Bruderheim and Lamont.
yeah, for sure. A lot of Edmonton contractors don't even want to go to Fort Saskatchewan. They think we're out in the middle of nowhere. It's just down the road, half an hour.
You hear
Well,
people
20
say,
minutes,
"Oh,
right?
Saskatchewan, I'm not going to
Yeah,
Saskatchewan."
Saskatchewan, yeah, that's right.
So what would you say your business does best?
I would say what sets us apart from other contractors, it's communication.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. It's honesty and communication. We've been around so long, and we have such high Google reviews that we're just the go-to people, and we don't need every job. We have more people looking for our services than we can service at the moment. We're booking out not that far, I guess. We're a couple months out, but that's a decent amount. So we are really setting ourselves apart from the others by communication. So we really vet our clients. We try and talk to them repeatedly, whether, just with the initial phone calls or emails,
Yeah.
and follow up with them before we go to the site. Make sure we're a good match. We're not a good match for everybody. And so what we'll do is make sure that we've got a good match there, and then we show up on site. We've already got a really good background on those people about what they really need. And that's what really sets us apart, is we find out what the client needs, and then we deliver that to them. I don't need to make a sale. I turn down work all the time. We'll tell people, you don't need us. What you need is someone else, or we can't, that's not something we can do for you. And so I've got no problem turning away work or just advising the client. Sometimes they come up with some crazy ideas. just because they don't know. So they really appreciate that honesty, and they say, well, these guys are real honest. They could have taken me for a ride here, but no, they just gave me some good advice, and I'm gonna definitely refer to them. Like honesty, communication, honesty, trustworthiness. With those things, you can't go wrong.
Yeah. And often we find that the bar is set pretty low in construction, so it's pretty easy for us to shine just by showing up when you say you're gonna show up and
Yeah,
delivering a quality result to the customer.
really, yeah, for sure. Like renovation contractors are often grouped into the same bunch as like used car salesmen and whatnot. There are some rough people in our industry.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take much to shine. But we really shine too. Like we, even amongst the good contractors, I think we're better than most.
So let me ask you, what are some of the other offerings that Fort Sask Reno provides?
Okay, well, aside from full exteriors, and that's including, like I said, all the siding, soffit, fascia, eaves trough, windows, doors, roofing. We're doing decks and fences. We've got some amazing carpenters and framers as well.
Yeah.
We do full house renovations, and we like to get those jobs as well when you're doing the top to bottom. You know, the customer's moved out preferably, and so you do everything from top to bottom. You're doing a complete basement, you're doing all the bathrooms, you just make the house new.
Yeah.
And we've done a few like that where it's complete interior and exterior, and so yeah, we really do it all is what it boils down to, Tom.
True. Yeah, those are some of our better jobs when we're starting from the top and working our way down.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. And having an empty house when you're doing the full renovation, that's really nice to have for us as well. If you're doing a large renovation like that, we definitely encourage our clients to find some other accommodations for a month or two and just avoid all the mess.
Yeah, no one wants to live in a construction site.
No, we're clean and we do what we can, but it's just not going to be perfectly clean no matter what you do. And we tape off the rooms and close off the heat vents and that kind of thing in the areas we're working, but it's going to be a mess for a bit until we're done.
So speaking of the customer, let me ask you, who would be your ideal customer?
Ideal customers is going to be someone that wants Fort Sask Reno. That's it in a nutshell. Like, we like people that have vetted us as much as we vet them. It's a two-way street. And so a perfect customer, someone who really has looked into Fort Sask Reno, realized these guys are a different cut. They're a cut above the rest. And I can be assured that I'm going to have what I want when they're done.
Yeah.
So that's really an ideal customer.
Okay, let me ask you, what's one thing that you wanted to try and do better every day?
Yeah, it's a daily goal to really live in the moment and be aware of your goals and really your headspace.
Yeah.
You know, and make sure you're on the right track with your goals and your ambitions, and you know, try and. I'm a firm believer in continuous improvement, and nobody's perfect. We're amazing. We're not perfect though.
No.
And when you make a mistake, you just admit it and own up to it, solve it, fix it, learn from it, move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of problem solving in this industry, so.
Yeah, there definitely is. That's one of the things I really like about it is the problem solving. It keeps it interesting. There's never one day is the same as the last.
No, there's a lot of challenges in this industry, especially in renovations. It's really opening up a can of worms.
You never know what you're going to get till that demo is done.
Yeah, you find a lot of rot, and we always fix it up for our customers. We've never had a customer decline rot repair on their home. They've always wanted to protect their investment.
No.
So let me ask you, what are some of your biggest business goals?
Well, one of them is the 5-star Google reviews. That's really important for our business.
Yeah, we've been preaching it a lot lately.
Yeah, we preach it a lot, and we've been getting a lot of them. So we're currently at about 100. Well, we're exactly 124. We keep an eye on them. We sure enjoy receiving those business reviews, those Google reviews. So we're at 124 as of today, and our goal is to get 500 5-star reviews, and we're also looking to continue to build on this YouTube video business. So we're looking to get at least 20 10-minute videos,
Yeah.
and that would be a couple to start. That's some near-term goals for us. Aside from that, it would be continued systemization, determining what works. We already have a pretty good handle on it, but it's documenting those proven processes and training the people, making sure everybody's on the same page and repeating. But those are some of our big goals at the moment.
Yep, so systemization, the YouTube videos, and Google reviews. That pretty much is our goals in a nutshell. Thank you for joining us on our second YouTube video, and stay posted for the next one coming up. And don't forget to like and subscribe.